We can bring people, situations, events, even organizations into the light with us. What it does is helps you remember that light that runs through us all. Mm-hmm. It helps you see the divinity in someone else.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sawara, and welcome to the Seeker Solutions Summit. We're so happy that you're here. This is a summit where you can discover who you are on a deeper level to create ultimate freedom and joy in your life. Today, we're so happy to have Diane Haworth with us. Diane is a heart-centered success coach, founder of the Be Love Principles, and good friend of mine. So welcome, Diane, and thank you for being here today.
Oh, Swara, thank you so much. And welcome to everyone that is tuning in today. This is a beautiful summit, and I am truly honored to be part of it. Thank you.
Thanks, Diane. You know, this is called the Seeker Summit because people here are looking for solutions and resources for them to improve their lives, for all of us to improve our lives. Can you tell us about your journey and how you came to the work that you're doing now?
You know, I actually love this question because I think the most unique thing about me is that there is nothing unique about me. Throughout my life, I've been overweight and in unsatisfying relationships and didn't like my job and started to seek spiritual answers because I had done everything else. I had read the books, I watched Oprah, I took the classes, I did everything I thought I could do to make my life better. And it wasn't until I learned to meditate and go inside that my life really started to change. And man, once that happened, I just wanted to tell everybody, I wanted everybody to feel the joy and freedom that the spiritual practices bring to me.
Beautiful, beautiful. I could totally relate to what you're saying. You know, just being that person that really wanted to dig in deep and address all those levels, the mental level, the emotional level, the physical level, doing like yoga and reading books. And like you said, Oprah, everything that I can get my hands on, right? But it's really going deeper with that. I found something for me personally. I found the Akashic Records. And then I know for you, you've developed your own work. Can you tell us more about that? What are you passionate about right now in your work?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. It is helping spread the message of the Be Love principles. I have a practice of going inside and either in meditation or in journaling, I will ask the question, love, what do you most want me to know today? And love is the intelligent, expansive, creative energy that some people think of as God, source, universe, whatever you think creates galaxies and beats your heart and mind. That's what I call love. Most of the time when I ask that question, I will get maybe a sentence, maybe a couple words. There will always be something that resonates deeply. But in May of 2018, I was actually in a group setting and I was asking that question in meditation and I got a full body experience. I call it a divine download. And in response to love, what would you most have me know today? I heard be love. Then I had a visual experience where I was actually observing myself. It involved my grandson. It was a beautiful process that involved all of the senses. It probably lasted a couple seconds, but it resulted in what I call the Be Love principles. I was given 4 ways to literally embody love and live love in human form. Mm-hmm. And those are greet everyone with an open heart, without an agenda. The second is see the divine essence in everyone and everything. Third is forgive quickly, completely, and unconditionally. And the fourth was remember you never left the light of the all.
Ah, wow, Diane, what you just said is so powerful. It just pierced right through my heart. It's so powerful what you just said. I would love to unbox this a little bit more because it's just profound what you said. It like, um, and so, first of all, I just want to say that this idea of love being source is already a huge shift in perception because God, the universe, we hold so high and so big as part of all. And love was almost just an emotional state, a high energy level frequency. But what you're saying is no, that is moved into this level of all, that it is God. Love is God. Love is the universe. It is the ultimate.
What I kept getting was intelligent, creative, and expansive. I think particularly in Western culture, we are so confused by love. I mean, how many songs do we have that love hurt me? Love never hurt you. Some jerk you might date it hurt you, but love never hurt you. Love is just love. And we don't have a good language that differentiates between I love my fuzzy slippers and I love my husband, right? Mm-hmm. This love is, it is the energy of all.
Yes.
And I am really touched that those principles touched you so deeply. That's how I know they didn't come from me, they came through me.
Yes, definitely. What a blessing, and what, a way for all of us to up-level our understanding of that. Thank you. That's incredible.
Yep. We just have to ask. But I do want to mention this. As much as I had been praying, and I had been praying for probably 6 months before this happened. Show me the next steps. How can I serve? Show me how to be an instrument of love. So I have this full body experience. And when I opened my eyes, my first thought was, man, did you mean to give that to me? Because that lady over there looks pretty competent. I bet she'd know what to do. Because I don't. So I think it's very human when these things land. For at least it was for me to just go, oh, I thought I'd go to a shelter and pet a puppy. I didn't know this is what she meant.
Wonderful, beautiful. Yeah. And being willing to take that on, that is really a credit to you stepping forward into that information and also the responsibility of that. And that's a beautiful thing that must have just shifted your entire life.
Oh, in ways that I could never imagine. And I do think that certainly part of it was willingness. I agree and I appreciate that. But there is this gentle invitation from love. Come deeper. Come work with me. Come be my embodiment on the planet. And that's what I was responding to. And that's what is so exciting for us all to respond to.
Yeah, yeah. And so let's go deeper into the 4 ways of being really to be in this love. Can you help us unpack that a little bit more?
Well, I can tell you what happened for me. I mean, these things literally just landed. And there's a whole story about that. And you can see that on my website later, hear that. But my first question was, what do I do with these? And I understood that I needed to live them at a different level before I could share them. I had to understand them. I really think that when any of us get these messages, they come first for us, right? It's because I needed to understand how to be loved. They come for us first and then for us to share. So I started a special journal, and every week I would pick one of those principles and just say, show me, how do I do this? So it was trial and error. I just worked with each of the principles, and what I understood from teaching, I've been teaching them for several years, is that each one is so simple and so powerful. Any single one of them is life-changing. But when you are able to use them as a process, there's just miracles that occur. One of the things I think might help your audience is that whenever we have these simple gifts, and each of these statements are powerful, but they're simple. I think there's part of us that says, well, there has to be more to it, right? There has to be a little harder than that. Like meditation, the one thing that will transform you, and how many people do it, right? Because it's so easy. One of the things that I was led to do, December 2019, in meditation, I was told to create a case study around the Be Love principles. And at first I said, in my wonderfully obedient way, I don't know how to do that. I haven't done a research project since I did my master's work. That was 25 years ago. I don't have time for that. Yeah. But I do eventually come around and just say, show me. So we meaning Spirit and I, created a 3-month case study that began in January 2020. Now, that's a very interesting date. Nobody knew anything about COVID there. We might have heard a little bit, but it really wasn't a thing. I had a small number of participants, various ages, and they agreed to use the principles every 5 out of 7 days for 3 months. And then I actually had surveys pre, during, and post. Mm-hmm. So what I wanted to share, if it's okay, was some of the results, because I think that helps us understand why we want to do them. Would that be okay?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Thanks, Diane.
I measured 8 different measurements, and every one but one, which I'll explain in a second, went up. So people increased their self-love by 14%. Mm-hmm. Their happiness went up by 14%. Their life situation went up by 17%. And I think that's funny because ended the end of March, when here in Virginia, we were on lockdown by then, and the whole world was going nuts, right? We didn't know what was happening. And people still, their sense of peace went up 17% by using these 5 out of 7 days. What was miraculous is their sense of divine connection went up 29%. And the most startling to me is their clarity score increased 60%.
Oh my goodness.
The world is in chaos, but by connecting through this tool, these people had clarity about who they are and what they were going to do. It increased by 60%. The beginning of a global pandemic.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I do want to be very transparent. In this little group, there were several people who were seriously ill. They already came to me with particular issues. Some of them were very life-threatening. So the only score that stayed neutral was health. And what was interesting is when I looked at the individual ratings, I had some people who went up like 200% and 300%. And then I had some, they didn't decrease, but they didn't necessarily go up. And I think that was, everybody was very cautious, and especially these folks who were already dealing with immune compromised positions. Mm-hmm. But even those folks, their peace and clarity went up. So this is a tool that I know works.
Yeah.
The very best way to start, I have plenty of tools, and lots of them are in the gifts we're going to give today, but to connect to your own heart and ask, for me, how do I greet everyone with an open heart without an agenda? To me, without an agenda means without judgment, without filters of thinking I am better than or less than whoever it is I'm greeting. It is not, it seems pretty simple until you try to do it.
I'm sure.
It is. And one of the things I found, and I used in the case study, and this is what I teach for my clients and students, the very first person you need to learn to greet with an open heart without an agenda is the face in the mirror.
Yeah. That's
so we did lots of mirror work with all of these. When you see your own divine essence, you can see it in others.
Yeah, that's beautiful and so powerful, powerful. And the fact that the clarity score went up by 60%, That's amazing. And I think that that's really what seekers are looking for.
Yeah.
They're looking for clarity, clarity
Yeah.
about themselves, what they want in the world, how they fit in the world, who they are, and what they want to create in the world.
Yeah.
And
What are your
that
next
clarity,
steps? What
yeah,
do you do?
yeah, yeah. So that's wonderful. What a powerful tool to get there, to get clarity. And
Yeah.
so can you tell us more about, let's just go over the 4 steps again. I think they
Yes.
happen so quickly. If we can just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. So the first one, I'll give them to you in order. Greet everyone with an open heart without an agenda.
Mhm.
Number 2, see the divine essence in everyone and everything.
Mhm.
3, forgive quickly, completely, and unconditionally. And the last is remember you never left the light of the all. And again, if you look at the video that I have on my website, I explained the visualization that came with each of those pieces. What I realized that everyone has to have their own motivating factor. And for me, it's my grandson. And he was in this vision that I had. I want to be part of creating that compassionate, loving, respectful, inclusive world that we all know is already here, but we're not experiencing it. And what I have seen rather recently, actually, in a meditation was that if you look at the energy of our current world, and then this energy of the conscious world, the more conscious, evolved world, right, that we want to have, the Be Love principles are a bridge, an energetic bridge from one to the next. It's not the only tool, because I know you've got lots of wonderful tools that you're focusing on here and offering on the summit, but it is an effective tool. And if it is something that resonates within your own heart, then this is something for you to explore.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love the visualization of that bridge into the higher consciousness, into that vision that we're all holding.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And when I heard you say the 4 ways again of being love, I could hear in each one of them that they were so simple. They are simple.
Mhm.
And yet at the same time, there's a little almost like challenge in each one of them. Does that make sense?
Especially the forgive one.
Yes.
Especially the forgive one.
Yeah.
What I have found through working with them, and what I found, and I bet I'd be curious to see if you found this in your work as well, but the work brings you along. The work teaches you and brings you where you need to be at any part of development. And to me, that's one of the most fun and exciting parts of the spiritual work, wherever we are, whatever we're doing. And one of the things that it showed me, the principles showed me, was in the last one, right? The remember you never left the light of the all. We can bring people, situations, events, even organizations into the light with us. What it does is helps you remember that light that runs through us all.
Mhm.
It helps you see the divinity in someone else. Usually when we're having a problem with another individual person, it's their personality or ego we have a problem with. It's not their divine self.
Right, right. Yeah.
It's not their divine self.
Not their divine self. So let's just drop to that level right now. Let's connect with that and allow that ego to fall away, or at least be put on the sideline and be able to see the divine essence in the other. That's amazing.
And recognize it's for what it is. And I'm sure that's why in my download, they used my grandson, because at the time he was like 18 months old. Well, if a kid has a fit at 18 months old, or they throw something, you just go, oh, well, he's a baby. He doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
And we forget that people are always reacting from their level of belief, of safety, of experience that they have.
Yeah.
And we forget that they are often reacting from hurt. And if we can connect heart to heart, instead of ego to ego, then that world we all see is already here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's powerful. That's amazing. That's amazing. I love it. And you've already talked about what people can expect
Yeah.
when they do work, this type of work, you know,
Consistently,
yeah,
consistently.
yeah.
Yeah.
The increased clarity, that's a huge piece. Feeling more, even like you said, like health, or feeling more centered, more calm, more love within their lives.
Yeah.
Working with you in this kind of way, you know, what can people expect? What do people go into it feeling like they should focus on to come out with?
What the biggest tip I would give anyone is to go in willing to be led by your own heart, your own wisdom into how these work for you. Throughout my time working with students, clients, and with these case study participants, I have gotten just wonderful testimonials. One lady, for example, now this was in the middle of COVID, which she worked in a medical office. So this was in the beginning where they didn't really know what to do, and there was conflicting information. They were trying to reschedule people. They were trying to protect really prone clients, patients, right? So there was lots of confusion. And this lady, who's a nurse, was doing the Be Love principles. And in the beginning, I was getting these little weekly surveys of like, everybody in my office an idiot, and I can't believe that everybody's stupid, and blah, blah, blah. And then within a month, she said, you know what? It's amazing how these people have straightened up. I wonder if it's me. So it was just, so funny. I had somebody else who is dealing with a very serious situation. She has an addicted partner. Very chaotic lifestyle, very it's terrifying at times. She doesn't know how he's going to show up, right? She was able to meet his addiction with so much more love and reconnect to the person inside the addiction that she had forgotten about. So as a result, not only could she be more peaceful and calm, but she was so much more capable to help support and manage the medical issues that were coming up.
Yeah.
So that peace of mind part, man, is just huge. And the whole essence that the principles have showed me rather recently actually is, no matter what we do, we work with the Akashic records, we're attorneys, we're medical professionals, we take care of a home, we're retired, no matter what we do. If we show up every day as best as we can as love, then we change our lives, our families, our community, our country, and the world. Just imagine, what would it be like if everybody in every profession, I don't care if you're stocking shelves in a grocery store, your goal that day was to be love. It wouldn't take long. It wouldn't take long for everything to shift.
Yeah. Yeah. Powerful. And not only would everything shift, but I imagine the person using those principles would be shifting out of joy, out of peace, out of like the journey itself could be not hard work. You know what I mean? That journey could be just more peaceful, loving, joyful as a process.
It is, that's how I found it. And of course, you know, what happens is your individual experience changes, right? So what I've noticed myself is things that would irritate me before would be like, oh, you know, that's kind of funny. Before I didn't think it was funny. Before I thought, you know, that's not what I thought before. Well, let's leave it at that. Yeah. So as you relax into the love that you are, you can't help but radiate that. And it's just like everything else. The more you enjoy and love that, the more you want to be that, the more you want to experience it, and the more that you continue. It's like with meditation. I can't say that was particularly easy practice for me to learn. And now it's been 25 years. So it's just part of me. Yeah. And that's what happens when you embody a process that helps connect you to divine love. Our goal is to recognize we are wholly divine and wholly human. To me, this is what happens when we pray. Our divinity and our humanness are coming together. And this is one of the ways that we can embrace that divinity and bring it into our human experience.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. We're coming up to the end of our time, but before we go, I understand that you have brought a free gift with you for the audience. Will you tell us more about that?
I created a Be Love bundle. So in the gift, in the link that you'll get for these gifts, there's a little ebook that helps just explain what they are, what you do. There is a workbook. There are 3 meditations, I believe. And I worked with a gentleman named Sean Galloway. Sean is a global peace song award-winning artist, and we created a Be Love song. So you actually get a copy of that as well.
Amazing. I love that. What a unique gift and how generous of you. Thank you so much for bringing that with you.
I believe in what you're doing, and I really appreciate the fact that you have gathered so many people that are offering tools. And I know how much I appreciated having these tools when I've attended summits.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you, Diane. And thank you so much for being here, for sharing your wisdom and sharing with us about the Be Love principles. I know I'm super excited to find out more. So I'm going to do my research and go in there into the website and connect with you some more about this. Thank you. Even the parts that you've said so far are so powerful. So thank you for sharing with us so generously here today. And thank you for being here, Diane.
Thank you.
So for everyone out there, I hope that you have found this talk to be inspiring, to be eye-opening, and have given you something today to take with you. And we'll have more of these talks where we'll be unpacking additional gifts and modalities, ways of healing, ways of connecting. So please come back again every day and check all the videos out, and I will see you on the other side. Thank you. Bye-bye.